We're going to start looking at converting between the different measures of time, that's the different units of measure for time, which are years, weeks, days, minutes and seconds. Now these are not metric measure, but we use other values other than multiples of 10 to multiply and divide. So starting on the right hand side we've got the large units of measure, and on the left hand side the smaller units of measure. So we're going to start with converting years to weeks. So if we want to convert years to weeks, well, there are 52 weeks in a year. So multiply by 52 to convert from years to weeks. Weeks to days, multiply by 7. Days to hours, multiply by 24, because there are 24 hours in a day. Hours to minutes, multiply by 60. Minutes to seconds, multiply by 60. Now going in the reverse direction from the smaller units of measure to the larger, that's along the bottom, we need to perform the inverse operation. So to convert weeks to years, divide by 52. Now in this next question, first question here, we're asked to find how many days there are in 7.06 by 10 to the 8 seconds. 7.06 by 10 to the 8 is a number in scientific notation. If we want to rewrite it as a conventional number, well, we need to move that decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places to that position and fill in the blanks there with zeros. So as a conventional number it becomes 706 with 6 zeros. Now because we're converting from seconds to days, we've got to go along the bottom here, so we've got to divide by 60, divide by 60 again, and then divide by 24. So we're dividing by 60, and 60 again, and by 24. Because we're dividing by all of those and we want to do it in one step, we're going to put multiply signs in the denominator. But of course if we want to do this in one step in our calculator, so one input, it is imperative to force order of operations by putting that expression in the denominator in brackets. Otherwise it will not work. Now if you want to put in the number 7.06 multiplied by 10 to the 8 in scientific notation, into your calculator, you don't want to put in the conventional number, then what you need to input is 7.06 multiplied by 10, and then the power button is the button that's a little upward arrow, and then an 8, and then the remainder as before in brackets, 60 times 60 times 24, and your answer here will be 8,171 days. Now to find how many years there are in that number of seconds, take the original quantity in seconds, and now we're converting from seconds to years, so we're going from the left hand side of the table all the way up to the right. So everything in the denominator, remember, needs to be in brackets. So we're up to days now when you're converting to weeks, and then to years. And if you pop that into your calculator, you will find it's about 22.45 years. Now our next question is to find the number of minutes in 2 years. So that's along the top of the table, so from years to minutes. So we start with our 2. Let's start with our 2, we just have to stabilise that. So 2 years, convert it to minutes, sorry, to weeks, not to minutes. So to weeks first, then to days, and then finally to minutes. And if you pop that into your calculator, it's going to give you a conventional number, which is 104.8320 minutes. Okay, now if we wanted to convert that number to scientific notation, we've got to rewrite it as 1.04830 multiplied by 10 to what power? Well, we've moved the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places, so it'll be 10 to the power 6. The only problem with that is that the number is quite long, and most of the numbers that we give in scientific notation have been rounded off. So I'm going to round this one off to 3 significant figures. So it will become 1.05. The 0 in the middle is significant, and 10 to the power 6 minutes. So I've done a bit more than I was asked to do in that question, and the reason why is because we're now going to practice converting conventional numbers to scientific notation, and then taking scientific numbers and converting them back to conventional numbers. So our first number is this very large number, 125, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. The decimal point is here. It's a very large number. We're moving it back 8 places. So the number will become, in scientific notation, 1.25 multiplied by 10 to the 8. Now this one, the next one, the number is moving, the decimal point is moving backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So the number becomes 7.5, and because the number is less than 1, okay, it's a decimal number less than 1, the power on the multiple of 10 is negative. So it means, in actual fact, 7.5 divided by 1,000. Okay, the next one, count the number of places we need to move the decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. So going backwards to just after the first 8. So it will become 8.08 multiplied by 10. We're moving the decimal point to the right and making a very small number, so the power is -8. To rewrite a number in scientific notation as an ordinary number, as we have here, 1.07 multiplied by 10 to the 5, that means we've got to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So it goes into here, and the blank positions are filled with zeros, so the number becomes 107,000. Now the last one is 5.78 multiplied by 10 to the power -3. So we're looking at a number that is going to be less than 1, so we now, because the power is negative, we're going to have to move the decimal point towards the left 1, 2, 3 places, so it goes in there, and the blank spots are filled with zeros, so the number therefore becomes 0. Now this is the decimal point here, so this first 0 doesn't really matter, but you can write it in 00578.